Hey guys, today I'm going to review Wind River, a movie by Taylor Sheridan, who was the director of the Oscar-nominated film Hell or High Water, starring Chris Pine and Ben something, I forget his name, but that movie was actually just outstanding, with Jeff Bridges too. I mean, that movie was really great, and Wind River is another great movie in his filmography. This movie stars Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, who you might know from the Avengers movies, basically, Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye, but in this case they are much different people. Jeremy Renner is basically a policeman. He's not really a policeman, he's with the wildlife force or something, I don't really know what that is, in an Indian reservation, and he founds a young girl who has been killed in the middle of nowhere, near woods, covered by snow. She has been freezing, no pants, so it's a really weird case, and he has to call the FBI, represented by Elizabeth Olsen, and they start dealing with this difficult situation, because as it happened in an Indian reservation to an Indian woman, a Native American woman, it's a case that has to be handled with care, because there's a lot of tension between the US government and the Native Americans because of their reservations and because of their rights and because of things that they are not given that they should be given, and as land, as many things, liberties and things that they should protect about the Native Americans, who at the end of the day were the first people to be in the North American side of the continent. So it's a really powerful movie, to be honest. It's a really heavy movie of feelings, and that happened in Hell or High Water too, although that movie was a little bit faster in pace. This movie is slower, but that doesn't mean it's a boring movie or anything at all. The performances here are just outstanding, and Elizabeth Olsen does her best work that I have seen. I mean, she did make an independent movie a while ago, and that apparently get a lot of rave reviews for her, but I haven't seen that, so I don't really know. But in this movie she's really great, and actually this is the best movie Jeremy Renner has ever been in, because I saw The Hurt Locker and I hated that movie. I think that movie is not as good as people say it is. I think it was very fair for that movie to win the Academy Award for Best Director. Catherine Bigelow did a great job with that movie, but that movie wasn't the best one of the year. I mean, not at all. And Jeremy Renner was good, but wasn't that good as in this movie, to be honest. I won't spoil the movie and the story that happens behind this relationship between the Native Americans and the police and the FBI and everything. I won't spoil that for you, because it's a really interesting and simple story, to be honest. And there's a title card basically at the end of the movie which says something that you're like, fuck, it's true, it's heavy, and it's important. I mean, this movie tries to send a message about how oppressed these people are and how forgotten they are. I mean, look at these reservations. Of course, the reservations are in places that have been important to the Native Americans. I mean, Native Americans are made of a number of nations. It's not like just one type of people. There are many people. And these ones in particular, in the movie, I think they are in Wyoming, if I'm not wrong, and it's a very remote place. I mean, you have to, there's like one town to get things, groceries and things like that, or guns, and the police is very far away, and actually Elizabeth Olsen's character has to come all the way from Las Vegas, so you really feel that this place is forsaken. I mean, it's forgotten by anyone, by every single person in the country, and they only care when something like this happens, like a murder. So it's really sad, and you really feel for those people, because it's like, oh, you forget us all year, but now that someone's dead, and that may look bad in your reports, now you're coming. And basically they try to say that it doesn't really matter if the crime is resolved or not. It's just they're just there to write a report, and they actually say that in one point of the movie, like, what's the case of the FBI being here if they're not going to actually help us at all? So that's really powerful. I mean, that's really the really great core about this movie, is that it has a powerful message, a little bit like Hell or High Water, that was about money and how people in the United States right now are really finding it difficult to survive, because there's a lot of pressure from every side. And that's why I think it's funny when people say that, oh, how did the United States elect Donald Trump? Well, that movie kind of explains why, and this movie kind of explains, not really that, but how things are in a certain state, that people are apathetic about things and are forgotten things that they shouldn't have. So it's a really important movie, I would say, especially for people in the United States. I think everyone there should have seen this movie that came out like in the summer, which is kind of weird because it's set on winter. I mean, on a heavy winter. I mean, there's a scene where a Native American woman has to give Elizabeth Olsen all her clothing, and I mean, like, give her proper clothing for the winter. So that's really funny because she's very unprepared. I mean, she didn't really know. She was one of those people that really neglected these communities and didn't really care where she was going. She was like, okay, I'm going to fill a paper and whatever. But that wasn't the case at all. And I mean, everything that happens after, it makes you think a lot. I mean, many people, I have read some reviews and stuff, many people didn't like her character because of some of the decisions she makes, but I think her character is great. Personally, I really think it's great. As Hell or High Water, this movie has great cinematography, great sound design. Actually, sound mixing and sound editing is really good, especially sound mixing, because of there's a lot of shooting basically in one point, and it's really well done. And of course, the directing by Taylor Sheridan is top notch. He's a really great director, and I hope we see a lot more of him. I mean, he's one of this new batch of directors that started to come in recently, like Denis Villeneuve, and like the guy that did Big Little Lies in HBO, I forget his name, but he did Wild too, that movie with Witherspoon. I almost cannot say her name. So yeah, I mean, that this movie is really powerful, and this director has some great things to say about society today. So I really would look everything he does from now on. And the performances again are outstanding. I cannot really recommend this movie more to you. So please go and watch this movie. It's a very interesting, very hard, gut-wrenching drama, if you will. So it's a very interesting thing. I don't think it really has chances in the awards rates because this movie was from the Weinstein Company, and you know what happened with Harvey Weinstein. So that's a big problem for this movie. But go and enjoy it, because art is art, and the people like Taylor Sheridan, like Elizabeth Olsen and Jeremy Renner, who did this movie, really did a great piece of work talking about this forgotten community. So I'm really recommending this movie. Thank you so much for watching this review. Please comment down below what you think about this movie. If you have seen it, please like or dislike this video. If you want, please share this video on your social media, and of course, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Goodbye.